everybody, I'm Shawn and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I embroidered this mat. It's really just a kitchen mat, but I'm using it as a mat to go on my son's floor. We have carpet upstairs, but just to give him a mat or a rug that has his name on it. And I am going to be using my Bai Mirror 1501, which is a 15 needle embroidery machine. I will be using mighty hoops. I'm going to use the 12 by 15 mighty hoop today, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this rug, I got this from Walmart. It is one of the mainstays, and there are the measurements right there. And it was only like $5. So I'm going to use one layer of tearaway stabilizer, and I'm going to be using my 12 by 15 mighty hoop. And let's see here, I'm going to hoop the stabilizer here. And when I'm hooping, I always have to keep in mind that this part that goes upwards, it sticks out a little bit, it's going to be facing outward away from the machine and towards me. And so that's just something to keep in mind when you're putting something on your mighty hoop. And so because that part is going to be facing out and I want the embroidery to go on this part, I need to make sure that I have it facing that way. So let's see here. Don't want to do it like that. Maybe we'll put the name in the middle. Yeah, I think we'll put the name in the middle. Okay, and so then I'm just going to fold it in half and find where the center line is for the fold. Line it up with the center of your hoop. Open it up. And then we're not going to hoop it yet. And I hope that's still pretty well centered because it was a little crooked. Okay. So now I didn't think about the fact that I need to get my water soluble stabilizer. So let me go back here and grab it. And I just have I think this is the 8-inch wide water soluble stabilizer. So it's going to have to work. And what I do with my scissors, I'm going to cut enough so that it goes through the center and comes over on the sides so that the water soluble can be hooped as well. And if you're not sure if you'll be able to get your center lines, your stitching right in the center, you could always either use wider water soluble stabilizer or use 2 layers that are kind of staggered. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to get it right there, almost centered, but not quite. And then I'm going to get the other half of the mighty hoop and close this up, okay? Not close this up, hoop it up. Making sure that this part, that little lip, faces inwards on the machine because we're going to be using the Bai embroidery machine. So the little lip, in my mind, it's opposite of the part that protrudes out. So now I'm going to hoop it. And this is a thicker thing, kind of like the car mats. So I am going to press this in just to make sure that it does stay hooped and it's in the right place. And I'll tell you what, I am still going to use some clips on it, and I'll show you in just a minute, but I want to go ahead and put this on the machine. Oh, you can't see this, goodness. Okay, now I'm putting it on the machine. And just pull that extra out. And with this machine, I like to make sure I hear it click on both sides. And just to make sure that this doesn't pop out, I'm gonna clip the outsides. And I have these here clips that I got from Walmart. They're just, I don't know what these are called, but I got them at Walmart back in the tool section. So I'm gonna put that one there, and I'm gonna put this one here. Let me turn the camera a little bit. And so now I want to trace just to make sure that the design is going to work in here, okay? Don't want to have any mishaps. So I'm going to hit the start button on the Bai, because start is trace. Okay, let me get behind the camera. Sorry, y'all. It's late and I probably should have just skipped recording, but I thought I've not done a throw rug video, so I would do one real quick for you because I was gonna stitch this up anyways. So let's see here. Okay, so I got the camera situated, and now we're gonna go ahead and start stitching. Oh no, let's make sure we have the right color, because I don't think I set the color up. So I'm gonna hit those little things that look like spools of thread, and that will open this up. This is a blue rug, and I want to stitch it with red thread, so I'm gonna select the red, and so everything's gonna be in red now, and there's only that one color. There's no color changes with this. It's just a very long stitch out. Oh my goodness. It is 60,200 stitches. I promise y'all I'm not gonna record all of those stitches because that's a lot of stitching. So I'm gonna hit OK. And so now it's gonna stitch in red, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit start. It's gonna stitch at 700 stitches per minute. And what I'll do is I'll pause the video so that I'll have a spot where I can just like pick up recording, but record it in a sped up fashion so that it's not taking so long. And I will have at least one bobbin change during this, I believe, because I don't think I can get, I've never done more than 40-something thousand stitches with one bobbin. So I know there'll be a bobbin change, but I'll just go ahead and let it stitch out. Okay guys, so I lit this stitch too far and the bobbin did run out. So I am gonna do a thread cut, and it's stitched all the way up here and it stopped picking up the top thread down here. So I'm gonna have to back this design all the way up so that it catches where it dropped off at. So one empty bobbin down. I may go through 3 bobbins on this job. Not sure, we'll see. And I call this a job, but in all honesty, it's not a job, it's for my son. So let's see here. Okay, so I've got the bobbin in there. I'm gonna bring the camera to the screen just to try to show you all what I do as far as backing the thread up. So the machine is stopped. I'm going to hit this button that has a spool of thread with the plus and minus button. Then I'm going to hit the needle with the plus and minus button because I don't want to hit these spools of thread because that's going to take me all the way back to the beginning of the design or to the next color, which there isn't a next color. So I am doing a guesstimate game now. So I'm going to try to see 500 stitches back, how far back the needle brings it. And so, think I need to come back a little bit farther maybe. I'm going to go back 250. And I think, yeah, that will pick up because it's showing on the screen it was coming down right in this area. And so if I look down at the letter, that's about where I need it to pick up from. So we're going to go ahead and hit start. And it comes down into the design where it had already stitched at, but for this it will be okay because it's the same color and it's just going to be a little more dense in that one area where it had already had stitches laid down. But I would rather this being, it's a rug, I would rather it be a little too dense in that area than for it to have a open area. So now I'm going to just let this continue stitching. That third bobbin change, or changing to the third bobbin I should say. This is the second bobbin change. And let's see here. I actually watched it this time so that I could see when it was going to run out. And I only have to back it up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to hit that button with the spool of thread and the plus and minus, and I'm going to back it up. Probably 150 should do it. Maybe a little bit further. I'll go another 50 and see where that takes me. Nope, that's not far enough back. Well, I didn't think I was gonna have to go back that far, but I guess I do. And now that's too far back, but it's okay. So we'll just keep on stitching. We are in the home stretch of this, and I realized my stabilizer, the water soluble stabilizer on top, was crooked, and it did not lay to where all of it's going to be stitched with stabilizer on it. So we're going to see how this works out. I'm hoping it'll still lay flat, not sure, but we'll see. So you know what, guys, I looked twice at that area that the stabilizer, the water soluble stabilizer that I have on top, it kind of went crooked, and so I want to make sure that it all gets as flat as possible. And so this is what I'm talking about right here. There's no water soluble stabilizer right there, and I didn't realize it. So I'm going to literally just drape this over this, and I'm going to get some tape, just to tape at the bottom and at the top out of the way of where it will actually be stitched at, and let it continue stitching with the water soluble over it, because I don't want the rug parts to be poking out. Initially I was like, well, we'll just hope for the best, and then I'm like, no, we are not going to hope for the best. We're going to put some water soluble down on top of this, and we are going to try to make sure that it does stitch the way it's supposed to stitch. And so I'm just back here, and I'm just using some masking tape so that I could tape this up and out of the way, and we'll go ahead and resume. I do believe I will thank myself for that. Hit stop. I'm gonna clip the thread real quick because I want to take the stabilizer off so that this tape doesn't get in the way. The rest of the stabilizer is still up under there, the water soluble, but I didn't want the needle to be stitching through the masking tape. So I'll just go ahead and let it finish. And it doesn't have much longer to go. It's almost done. Alrighty, so this is finished stitching, and I'm going to put my clamps back up where I keep them at. And I am just realizing something. Now these letters, because I couldn't find a font that was as big as I wanted, I digitized this font myself using Embrialliance, and I must have left this as regular tatami instead of switching it to cornrow 2. So the I is different than the rest of the letters, and I don't know if you could tell or not, but I could tell in person, so I don't like that. But I think he will still love it. He's got a mat in his room with his name on it. And the stabilizer, the water soluble, very easy to pull up. And it's even easier if your hands are both being used. So I am going to clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so cleanup was fairly easy because the letters are so big, and that is how it looks. Now, like I was saying before, the letters I digitized myself, so I know that they aren't perfect, but I wasn't expecting that I didn't change all of the patterns to match. So this is how the back looks. I guess my tension is probably off a little bit, or it became off throughout the bobbin changes, but hey, nothing is perfect in embroidery. If you look close enough, there's something wrong with everybody's things. That's what I tell myself anyhow. So anyways, that is all I have. Like I said earlier, the rug, it came from Walmart, and it's actually a kitchen mat or a kitchen rug by Mainstay, and it's stitched pretty easy. So I'm gonna end this video. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and until next time, you all keep taking care of yourselves.